People of Earth, good evening. Welcome in this edition 112 of Star Nation News. In this special edition, I will explore with you the timeline of the main events concerning the hidden history of Earth, extraterrestrial involvement, and humanity's future. We will follow a chronology that begins with the rise of the secret societies and off-world alliances, moving through key events such as Roswell, the creation of intelligence agencies and secret programs, the Nebu presence and hybridization agendas, and then into the dramatic developments that have unfolded between 2021 and the present day. The liberation of the Moon, Mars, and Antarctica, the return of Ea, the dismantling of the Nebu hive, the arrest of Enlil, and the clearing of underground facilities marked a turning point in Earth history. We will also examine recent development, including disclosure protocols, the discovery of hidden hybrid stock, political events, and announcements regarding the release of UFO and extraterrestrial related information. Finally, we will look ahead to the first contact procedures, humanity's relationship with the Galactic Federation of Worlds, and the future envisioned for us all. To understand really better and perfectly what this disclosure plan is, we need to go back in time, quite far away, when the Anakim arrived on this planet, 372,000 years ago, on an expedition that carried great evil, such as Enlil and his minions. Enlil was half Sikaar and raised by the Sikaar. He wanted to take Earth and enslave Earth, dump down humans genetically to make of them a slave race. He asked his half-brother geneticist and true heir of the empire, Ea, to do the job. Ea refused and came up with a plan. He decided instead to activate a strand of humans that gave the abraâmic bloodline, and that's a long history. But let's go back to the protagonist of all the miseries humans have been going through throughout all the Earth history. Enlil, of his real name Yuh, who will be known later on as Yahweh. Enlil was a typical Sikaar, although he was an Anunnaki, half Anunnaki by his father Anu, and half Sikaar by Queen Draco-reptilian Tia, and raised by her. If you want to know everything about the stories, you can read my books or watch my webinars on Genesis. Enlil, really not happy with Ea's tricks, decided to perform these programs of genetic degeneration of the human race himself with his Sikaar scientist. So what happened afterwards was a genetic alteration of humanity by Enlil and his scientist. Humans could live several hundreds of years. That's a normal rate lifespan of humans in the galaxy. But now, look, you don't have even the time to realize you're becoming to figure out everything, then it's over. Enlil also set up the secret societies, the Illuminati, to control humanity throughout the ages from behind the scenes, which became known as the deep state or the shadow governments. History went very long, like this. But not only, the 13 family bloodlines were created with the royal Enlil blood, while there was a parallel bloodline, the blue blood sacred bloodline of Ea, the Abrahamic bloodline. The two were competitors, and still are. Let's talk about the Sikaar. The Sikaar got a great involvement throughout history, not that great. They infiltrated every societies. They collapsed all resistance from the inside. Sikaar are great infiltrators. They engineered the Nazi regime. They collaborated with them, offering them technology. That's how the Honebu crafts were created. And there is a lot to say about the Honebu crafts. You have in the 1950s, after the Second World War, all these contact appearances of Honebu crafts. Nobody knew at the time what they were. Passing for extraterrestrial UFOs. And they created a program to lure humans, to make them think they were space brothers from Venus. But when you see the description, even the photos of the crafts, that is exactly a Honebu craft. But we'll go there in a minute. After the Second World War, the Nazis didn't really lose. They migrated to Antarctica. They got rid of Hitler in Argentina. The crazy one is just too crazy. Got in Antarctica, invited by the Sikaar base there, were welcomed to set up the Antarctica Fourth Reich in New Schwabenland. They collaborated with the Sikaar, they soared to space, and that became the Dark Fleet. That kick-started in Antarctica after the Second World War. The Dark Fleet was despicable. We're not going into details. At the same time, Operation Paperclip, May 19th, 1945, occurred, where the American government welcomed all the ancient Nazi scientists in the country to work for them. And notably the famous Werner von Braun and none the less famous Albert Einstein. July 7, 1947. 2 years later, Roswell crash in New Mexico. This was a gray Trojan horse to present humans of Earth. Hey, have you seen this technology? You'd like to have it, right? Just wait for it. It's like dangling a carrot, you know? July 7, 1947. Because we haven't spoken yet about the Greys. It's coming. July 7, 1947, Roswell crash. September 18, a little more than a month later only, CIA was created. A few days later, in September 24th, MJ-12 was created. Just months apart, as a consequence of the Roswell crash. So what happened? Well, the first contact with the Nebu, the Greys from Orion. These little trickers made people believe that they were us from the future, which is totally horse shit. The future of Earth is humans and we're two different species. I mean, a Grey cannot descend from a human unless they perform mass hybridization programs. They tried, but it failed. So they are not Earth from the future, proven. So we are in September 24, 1947, and G12 is created. A few years later, 1954, the Galactic Federation of Worlds, just arriving in the star system, sent by the Andromedans, who located the beginning of the problem of the galactic tyranny, 300 years in the future. Send there the Galactic Federation of Worlds back in time, in the solar system, to warn the humans and to try to change the timeline, warning humans that the Greys were coming, and please do not associate with them. They are pure evil, and they are the biggest trickster and deceivers of the galaxy. They arrived in 1954, contacted main governments, and we have the track of them contacting President Dwight Eisenhower, who met them in person at Edward Air Force Base. And the Galactic Federation of Worlds envoys told Eisenhower that nobody signs with the Greys. The Greys are coming. We strongly advise that you do not sign anything with them. So Eisenhower signed instead with the Galactic Federation of Worlds for the start of a program of cooperation, because people of Earth were not able to protect themselves from the Greys, which invasion was imminent. So the Galactic Federation of Worlds offered help. And that is how the cooperation programs with the US Navy started, that unfolded into a defense fleet in the orbit of Earth, the Solar Warden Fleet, and developed beyond. In 1955, 1 year later, the Greys arrive. They contact governments again. Eisenhower doesn't want to meet them, but he's meeting them because he has to. He doesn't want to sign anything with them, but it is the MJ-12 behind the president's back that signed with them. MJ-12 that had been created after the first Grey contact in 1947, September 24th. May I remind you? Who did the MJ-12 signed with? Greys, of course. But who really came and landed and get out of the spaceship? There were, surprisingly, not only Greys, but reptilian Sikaar and Nazi officer from the Fourth Antarctic Reich. It was very surprising. You have to understand that it is not only the Greys. The Greys have created an alliance that was named the Alliance of the Six, that is now dismantled, with their foremost competitors. The Nebu Greys from Orion, led by the tall Eban. The Mitra from Galaxy Andromeda, the tall, despicable, hateful-looking Greys. Betelgeuse, Andromeda Galaxy. Sikaar Empire from Draconis constellation, the Zeta Reticuli Greys, the Solipsirae from Cygnus, and the Kietokurt from constellation Vela, the biggest traders in the galaxy. So instead of fighting them, they welcomed everybody in an alliance of interest to share profits and not fight over it. It was very clever. They, we faced a higher intelligence that computes faster, that is a hive mind. So computing is different. It's instant, lateral, not individual. They don't need to make the effort to share the information. They just tap into the hive and information is dispatched quantumly, instantly. A vast subject, vast topic. So here is with whom the majestic 12 signed with the alliance of the 6. Because who said the Siccar said also Antarctica, right? And that is how the hybrid programs started. They lured the MG12 saying, "We are you from the future and poor us, we need genetic material to renew our race." Oh goodness, couldn't they just take it without doing all the show? Genetic material, you need a male and female. That's all you need. 2 people. They passed this agreement with the MJ12 that in exchange of technology that really never came, the Greys would get facilities. That's the Greada Treaty. The facilities underground. So there was Los Alamos and Dulce, the main ones, and others, but that was the main ones. And also, they said, you need to give us about 100 individuals. I think it was something like 170, something like that. And the MG12 say, okay, we have prisoners, Los Alamos, we give you these prisoners. And the base was built, carved underneath. The Greys and the reptilians have tremendous skills and technology in digging very fast. That could have been okay. The Greys could have gone after that. Why did they need facilities? They just could abduct 100 people and go. 100 prisoners off record and go, if that was true. But of course it wasn't. Of course they had an agenda. Why did they want to stay? I mean, people of MG12 were probably terrified and were saying, yes, yes, okay, okay. Technology, yeah, weapons, etc. Well, all the technologies that could be retro-engineered was from the crashes. That's all. The Greys gave nada. Nothing to empower humans. They hated us. Why would it do that, So it was the Galactic Federation of Worlds who helped humans from behind the scene, building their own defense, respecting the Prime Directive. The Greys didn't stop at 170 prisoners. Once they were in, just try to get them out. You can't. This guy can push a planet off orbit in that. Millions of people were abducted. Okay. About 1 million per year. To gather genetic material and also make women breeders, wombs for hybrids. Why? Because if the Greys had just invaded Earth like this, the Galactic Federation would have just hit into them. So they had to get around the Prime Directive. Invasion by the womb means the individuals are half Earthlings and have the right to be there. So let's do a little bit of math. Over 1 million a year. For 70 years. since the Queda Treaty in 1955. That brings us to 70 millions of abductees, okay? Let's round it, because it was over 1 million a year, let's round it to 100 million people, okay? Each person, in average, was able to produce 100 hybrids or more, which brings us to the number of 100 billion hybrids ready to invade Earth. That has only roughly 10 billion people. That's a lot, right? We get back to that. In 1955, just after the MJ12 signed with the Greys and the Alliance of the Six, Area 51 was established at Groom Lake, Nevada. We know that Area 51 worked with the Greys. They had facilities there where they were retro-engineering technology. The Kilitokur, or tall whites, were there, as well as the Maitre from Andromeda. There's a lot of testimonies from Dulce in New Mexico, Los Alamos, and other locations. But let's go back to the disclosure historic. February 2021, after all these years, suddenly the moon is liberated because things are changing on Earth. The moon is liberated by the Galactic Federation of Worlds. In February 2021, April 2021, Mars is liberated from the Dark Fleet and the Seeker Empire. June 2021, Antarctica, the Dark Fleet is expelled and defeated. The solar system is free. In July, a month later, no time wasted. The Jupiter agreements occurred in order to prepare the existence of the star system to the new era of peace and golden age. In July 2021, these Jupiter agreements seal the future of the star system. You see the parallel creation of the Artemis Accords and many, many good things unfolding. People returning to the moon that is liberated suddenly. Elon Musk's planning for Mars. And in September, a month later, 2021 was the year. In 2021, in September, Prince Ea comes back. October 4, 2021, Denethor, High Commander Denethor of the Galactic Federation of Worlds, cracks the code of the Nebu hive after Ebans, tall Eban, Betelgeuse Eban, were arrested, escaping Dulce base because clearing operation was still ongoing underground on Earth by the Earth Alliance. A virus was sent to the Nebu hive, and the hive was dismantled. October 2021. The same month, the Intergalactic Confederation, the group of the Seeders, responded to the call of the Galactic Federation of Worlds sent a while ago and arrived into the star system to participate to the liberation of Earth. The same year, December 2021, Enlil was arrested at the request of the Intergalactic Confederation. The politics are more complex because Enlil's father, the Emperor Anu of the Anakim, was tied by the Seeker Empire, who had infiltrated his government and was bound to the Seeker Empire because of Enlil. The whole story you can follow in the webinar Genesis I've given. So finally, Enlil is arrested with the Pindar Seeker of the deep state, sent to a prison planet. Earth is free. Nonetheless, the beast is still there. Although the extraterrestrial head has been decapitated, the chickens are running free. And they are very dangerous. The beast is on the ground, mortally wounded, dying, there's no way back to life, and it is when it's the most dangerous. 2022, the undergrounds are finally cleared on Earth. January 7, 2023. Trojan meets with General Van Herk in the Raven Rock facility in the Blue Ridge Mountains and gives to the NORAD and high grades of the Earth Alliance the last updates of the protocol of disclosure. And what is this new protocol about? I announced it in 2023, what this plan was about. It is a conjoint operation with the Earth Alliance, the Galactic Federation of Worlds, and the Intergalactic Confederation to disclose to the public, to the civilians on Earth, the existence of extraterrestrial life and the truth with time of everything that has been going on I've been just sharing with you. This plan, as explained to you already in 2023, is supposed to unfold as such. First, make the public aware, develop the sensitivity of the public to the existence of other civilizations by making ships appearing in Earth's sky. Orbs, metallic orbs from the Federation, plasma orb from the Intergalactic Confederation, remotely driven spaceships, flying saucer shape, tubular shape, also revealing retro-engineered craft from the good military. Now all the baddies are gone, so there's no more negative, threatening ships. The only abductions that are still performed are abductions with a time loop, because they knew how to use time distortion, because their distortion bubble around their craft distorts time, but also space, so they could also perform abduction in time, but this is dying out, and also the dark programs in the Earth military, such as mainly the US Air Force, but that's, of course, as I always say, cells in it, not the whole institution, okay? There are good people out there. Having gray dummies, synthetics, to make people believe they are abducted by aliens, and in fact they are abducted by Earth military for their own genetic experiments. So this has been going on. Regarding this disclosure plan, so you have orbs and spaceships appearing in our skies more and more. That's the work of the off-world people, of the star nations. On Earth, the work of the humans, or with the assistance of the Federation, of course, the work of the humans is about disclosing all the secret programs of retro-engineering, crash retrieval. And with time, when people are used to that, and it's okay, people are used to accepting the existence of other life, other civilizations, and now that we have retrieved these technologies and we have retro-engineered many elements of it into our daily lives and technology. Just take fiber optics, for instance. Roswell. Now, that's the first step. The existence of the Nebu and the German secret space program has already been disclosed, as I speak today. And more is coming. Of course, everything is coming out. We're not talking about limited hangout anymore. We're talking about the real stuff. And I've been telling you for years that it's coming. And the next step is throwing the truth about the shameful collaboration of some governments with the Alliance of the Six. Los Alamos, Dulce, and many more. And this is going to hurt the deep state. That's why they really don't want this to come out, because it signs their hand. People are going to know they've been betrayed, used, and it's going to be horrible. But this needs to come out. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be revolting, shocking. But as Thoran said, this disclosure protocol is genius. You start to see it. It brings clues slowly into the collective unconscious that people, once they have accepted and digested one thing, they're ready for the next. Because all of you who are listening to me now are ready to hear everything, even know everything. But you are not the majority of humanity. There are 10 billion people out there who still think it is our demons or angels. So, for these ones, we need to respect the lower level of ignorance and conditioning. Thanks to the religions, we don't need them. We are our own temple, our own connection to source. People are going to need to be educated slowly. You cannot change mentalities like this. You need a process. And it is apparently genius, and I start to see it. And it has started. And it's going to be faster and faster. So here we are in January 7, 2023. What happens next? In March, a year later, March 2024, the key little Kurds speak. As the Nebu hive has been dismantled, all the alliance of the Six as well, and the key little Kurds are just traders. They're on their own, They take the best offer. And now the best offer is like, hey, let's help a bit the Federation. They told the Federation where the armadas of 100 billion hybrids were hidden by the Greys. In a time bubble behind the Orion nebula's vortex, where the hive was. So they got there in March 2024. And what they saw were hundreds of cargoes with containers having these 100 billion hybrids in it. They saw that they were soulless. They were previously to be connected to the hive. The hive was no more, so they were lifeless bodies. This armada was waiting to invade Earth. 100 billion is a lot. Probably they wanted to use them to invade other planets as well. They checked it. all cargoes were equipped with antimatter detonator in case if somebody got on it. So what they did what they had to do. The Federation withdrew from the bubble. It was a time warp bubble, a micro universe. Oh, they can't do that. Micro bubble universe. They collapsed it. None. Zero. Gone in space and time. Terminated. March 2024. November 5th, 2024. A few months later. Well, despite so many attempts of assassination and discrimination campaigns, Donald Trump is re-elected. This one for good. And the deep state begins to be taken down. You can see this operation through the news. And this led us to today, 2026. In February 2026, President Donald Trump announces the declassification and the release of government files related to UFOs and extraterrestrial life. Here we go. This is going to unfold as the protocol. That is the human part, the disclosure of retro-engineered programs, the good stuff, and the good alliance with the Galactic Federation of Worlds that was already announced by Haim Eshed. But also the bad part, MJ-12, Dark Fleet, hybridization programs, the government were involved like till there. That is a shocking part that the deep state doesn't want, because that's going to expose every single thing they've worked against you and your children. And they're done. That's the big chunk. And this is brought very, very cleverly. Many, of course, scientists who were to testify are eliminated by the deep state. I told you the beast is not dead. It's dying. That's a big difference, major difference. Dying means still dangerous, still able to bite. So we must not release guard yet, okay? The Earth Alliance and the Federation are doing their best. It's been done. It's been done. Because civilization evolves only by themselves. The Federation can only guide and assist and provide means, but it is the humans that need to do it themselves. You do not do the homeworks of your children. It's the same way, but you guide them, give hints, give tools. Show examples, but not do for them. This is how the Prime Directive is, and a higher version of the Prime Directive that is based, Prime Directive and the Dayakura are based on a cosmic law of evolution. It's not a set of laws invented by people. It is the translation in words and paragraphs of the greater law of evolution. That is what it is. And the Dayakura speaks it perfectly when it gives the seed. And the seed is intervention without inner awakening is a theft of destiny. And that leads us to the procedure of first contact. Originally scheduled for 2027, probably now 2030, but it's coming. Civilian contact, because, you know, I mean, the Star Nations have been working with the good and the bad governments for a long time already. They are here among us, and that is about to be disclosed as well. They've been here among us, walking among us. Reptilian shape-shifting, hybrids, but also the good people from the Federation. Mainly Alpha Centaurians and Pleiadian because they look like you and working with the good side of the governments. There's a lot to say, a lot to say. Read Encyclopedia Galactica and you will know all details about all these civilizations. The first contact procedure will occur in 3 times. Firstly, appearance publicly of people who look like you all. These Alpha Centaurians, Pleiadians, and people from other human civilizations. Tau Ceti, Epsilon Eridani, Procyon, and many more. Then, when the big reveal and shock will be absorbed, the second wave of contact. The humans were a little bit different. The Ahil with their big eyes. The Sirius B people, the Tashkil with their triangular face and have even bigger eyes. Those with ridges on the head, blue skin, green skin, all sort of features. Until the third wave, the weird ones. The Egaroth, the Almanuk, all the strange races that are going. And the Neguma, I don't think they come because they're a bit scary. No. To get people accustomed. And the deep state has groomed people of Earth to refuse this eventual state of things by grooming people to judge each other on appearance, to compartmentalize society in different sectors, in different groups. Heterosexuals, homosexuals, LGBT, I don't know what letters, and trans, and melanated people, and white people, and oh my goodness. And I'm not naming them all, the groups, okay? This was social engineering, and many have fallen victim for it. The Tower of Babel was engineered by Enlil, not to speak different tongues, but different languages, meaning causing discord for people not to be able to understand each other. That's what the metaphor was about. But this Tower of Babel needs to collapse for good. And we need to listen to each other, understand each other, and merge in unity as a unified planetary civilization. Not in uniformity of thought. No, 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 keep your individuality. But in a common purpose. Build the future for our children. Make of this planet an Eden, a paradise. And the future will be created by the humans because they will have done this themselves. That's how you evolve. And the future I've been shown is magnificent. And there's no doubt it will come sooner than later, because once all the technology that have been blocked, free energy, anti-gravity, will be released, we are stage 3 fully, and we are soaring to the stars and beyond. We are welcomed in the galactic community and intergalactic community as members of the Galactic Federation of Worlds. We will share technology, and we will become an advanced civilization and start to name ourselves as the architect of a new future. The architects are already here, and they are awakening. I brought to you this information when I was on Koldas, beyond Neptune. You are the architects. And you are building this future, but there's only way to build it is together. Unite. Unite in peace, in acceptance of the differences of thoughts, of physics, because what's out there, you have no idea. There are weird stuff out there, you know. So you need not to judge anybody on their appearance. Someone with an information, you still think this person is more credible when dressed up with a suit than as a hippie. You still think a woman is more serious and credible when she wears no makeup. You need to stop this. You've been victim of social engineering, right? The looks, that doesn't matter. It's the frequency. It's the actions. It's the fruits. By uniting and working together, I am very proud and very happy to share with you about the announcement that was made in Stockholm, Sweden, on the 24th of May, 2026. The launch of the platform for the architects of the future. On that day, Terra Nova was born. And it is together that myself as a founder with the other founders, Mona Telisi, Christopher Cooper, Dan Willis, Alex Collier, Steph Zak, are taking you by the hand to step on the bridge to that future that exists already, where free energy, free education, a world of peace, of clean environment, clean pure water, clean air is already there. You are already ready for that, because that's what you've been wanting and manifesting all the time. The earth regenerates. In that future that was already there in the time field, the earth regenerates and is a heaven of abundance. Cities are floating, people are also cultivating the earth, repairing it. This is a beautiful vision that we are manifesting today. Let us build a new earth together. Welcome into the new era of knowledge, of the apocalypse, the revelation of the light, the uncovering of the shadows, and shedding an old skin of a paradigm that is done. We are moving towards a humanity of light, of wisdom, of prosperity. People of Earth, welcome to Terra Nova. Are you ready? Engage.
Join us in the architecture of our shared future. Time has come. This is a new era. The world is coming together. Through unification, national sovereignty, planetary unification, and galactic representation. Environmental and ecological restoration, a reconstruction of this planet for the new galactic epoch of life on Earth. Future cities, resilient and sustainable, advanced physics-based nanotechnology will make possible the complete reconstruction of near-zero environmental impact cities. The Earth will heal and prosper again. Pure waters, clean air, abundant food, free energy, advanced technologies, a new Eden for our children. Abundance, intelligent, wise and compassionate deployment of advanced technology into society with a new social, political and educational framework will create abundance for all. And finally, galactic integration, based on sufficient progress towards the achievement of the first 4 Earth restoration stages, humanity will become eligible for membership to the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Actively pursuing these 5 key pillars of Earth reclamation, by unifying Earth people and providing them abundance, earthly restoration and upgrades to the cities they call home, we will cross a bridge to galactic integration. People of Earth, here is the birth of Terra Nova.